there's meetings like this. And ours, just to give you a sense of size and how awesome we are here, is that cities, for example, like Orlando, those can attract more people than we do. We have a full room right now. In fact, I would love to do a head count, and I would love to have a picture taken with everyone here at the front when we're done today, because we really are an entrepreneurial community, more so than many other cities in the U.S. So an applause there for you guys today. We have our speaker today, Marty Jeffery, coming all the way from Canada, so not around the corner. And thank you for coming on this long way. Marty has been in the business of marketing for 45 years. He's a veteran in this industry. He started as a broadcaster, I believe, and apparently always had the entrepreneurial bug in him. And most recently, he started a company called Brilliantz. There should be a flyer on your tables. And here you see the benefits of hydrogen-enriched water. So to hear about his business, let me help us welcome Marty.
Thank you very much. Recently I was in England and they introduced me as a Canadian, and it kind of went... And then he said, an unarmed American with health care. Okay? Offended or amused, your choice. Anyway, I'm very pleased to be here. I would like to introduce you to C.J. McKenzie, who is an associate of ours, an affiliate. And it's because of C.J. that I'm actually here.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And I'm going to talk a lot about, I'm not going to pitch it, I'm not. But what I am going to do is I'm going to tell you some of the thinking behind why we design what we design. Because as you go through your journey, you're going to see a lot of this stuff play out. Now, my name is Marty Jeffery, and some of the younger people went, oh God, another presenter from Jurassic Park. Like, it seems like a lot of older guys present, right? But that's because older guys surprise.
That rhymes.
I have proof of that. When I was about 10 or so years ago, my 31-year marriage ended. Not that I wanted to end it. She finally smartened up. But so she was on to me, and out I went. So I ended up in Washington, D.C. We like to call it Canada's capital city. And I was in Washington, D.C. doing children's cartoons. Does that seem logical for someone that looks like me? And it was fun, and it was crazy, and I had never been single. I had been with my wife since we were kids. So I was just like living the life fantastic, and at 55 years old, so I mean, 10 years ago I was already old, right? But I'm dating, because I didn't get to do it, and I got my girlfriend pregnant. See what I'm saying? Old guys, surprise. See what I'm saying? And, which is, if you ever want an experience of phoning your 30-year-old daughter to tell her your girlfriend's pregnant, it's a very awkward call. Daddy's got that little brother you always wanted. So, and by the way, if you're old in the room and you're thinking, that's kind of cool, maybe I'll do that, there's some drawbacks. The kid is fantastic. The kid is amazing. And he's coming here, I'm going to take him to Disney World, freak him out. But when you're old and you've got a kid like that, everybody thinks it's your grandchild. You know what I mean? I'd have him in a stroller, and I remember one day this woman came up and she said, oh my God, what a beautiful child. And I said, thank you. And she said, what's his name? What's his name? And I said, it's Luca. I'm sorry. She said, what's your grandson's name? I said, Declan. So then she got down, she said, hello, Declan. I said, no, his name's Luca. She said, you just said his name was Declan. I said, no, my grandson's name is Declan. This is my son, Luca. And she went, oh. So it's not as cool as it's cracked up to be. So let me just kind of give you an idea of what Brilliantz is. Brilliantz is sort of like Costco, except we sell to customers. I don't know whether you ever reasoned that out. Costco doesn't have any customers. And if you don't believe me, just go in there and try and buy something without a card. You've got to be a member to shop at Costco. But a lot of the stuff they do is really good and really right. And so we took some stuff from them. We're like a franchise because we use a franchise operating system. One of the things I did as a young man is I built a franchise across Canada, 67 stores in a durable medical equipment business, which was slightly ahead of its time. And we don't have any franchise fees or any territories, but we operate in a lot of ways like a franchise. And a lot of people think we might be MLM, multi-level marketing, but we don't have a downline, we don't have an upline. But we took a lot of the good stuff from the MLM system because frankly, it works. A lot of that stuff just works. And we've got, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but in our country anyway, we've got some trouble with employment. We've got some problems with people that have been in, like for example, free enterprise. I don't know if it's a challenge where you are now, but the communities have changed. So, you know, when you used to own the local hardware store and you knew everybody and everybody knew you, that's not happening anymore. It really isn't. In the town in which I live, Richmond, British Columbia, we have better than 80% of our population now is not from there. Most of them, almost 75% of them, don't speak English. And so all of a sudden that whole community, that local hardware store, all that stuff, they start trading in their own community, correct? This happens everywhere. It's going to happen more. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's kind of like a great big new audience moving into town. It's like really good stuff when you learn how to tap it. Franchising, you know what happened in franchising with it started with the Singer Sewing Machine Company, and then it was Dairy Queen, and it's kind of like dragged along, and then Ray Kroc got a hold of it. There's a new movie out about him, the real Ray Kroc story, if you ever want to read it. It's in a book called Grinding It Out. Has anyone read that book? Yeah. I love the part where he's in Philadelphia on the radio announcing the sale of the 1 millionth McDonald's hamburger. He's called out of the meeting by his head office asking him if there's any way he knows how they can make payroll. You know, everybody has some sort of an imagination that they're going to get into business and then you're just going to make a bunch of dough. And I'm going to tell you something, you feed it until it's capable of feeding you. And it could beat you along for quite some time before that happens. So franchising is great because all of that stuff is laid out. So one of the things we wanted to do in Brilliantz to make it a brilliant sort of an opportunity is have a system, proven system that actually works and is repeatable, trainable, teachable, trackable, because if it's not trackable, it's not manageable. How many of you guys run IT? Imagine if you had code that would reinvent itself periodically. That's what it's like having a franchisee. Every one of them turns into a genius. The minute they get their store, they want to change everything you're doing. And that's why franchises are so tight. But it means you can't expand at will. It means that if you've got opposition move into town and they move right across the street from you, what your franchise or will do 9 times out of 10 is open another location. Do you want it or not? So now all that money you're going to build the cottage with, going into a second location. Staffing's a problem in franchising. I had a buddy who was a Burger King in a small town, 300 staff. Yeah. Do you know why? Because the kids, they get mad, they take their apron off, they don't even come back and get their checks. They just go home. Or, they wander away. It's very difficult to staff a fast food establishment. So, franchising is a good thing, but it has its problems. Corporations, we all know what corporations, one of the greatest problems is the amount of money it costs to start and operate a corporation. And then there's levels and levels and levels. And there are other big predator corporations just waiting for you. So, not such a happy place. The MLM, and it was interesting, in 1994, I owned and operated 9 publications at that point, and I had made a bunch of money, built this franchise. I was living on a ranch, I was raising thoroughbred resources, kind of living the dream, but my wife had kidneys that had never fully developed. She had kidneys of a little girl, and so she would get nausea 3 to 5. No, it wasn't from being with me, I know it was sort of what you I saw that look across your face. Maybe it was though, she did divorce me. But so anyway, she had these small kidneys, and what happened was we found a product out of Japan, just a weird product, that she just slept on, and suddenly her kidneys could function well enough that, you know, what is that, 20 years later, 25 years later, she's still functioning, not being sick anymore with those little kidneys. So I got so fired up about that, I went out there and I built a business. I built the fastest growth in a business in that company's history up to that point. They did $218,000 sales with 9 items in my first 3 weeks. That's what you call enthusiasm, the God within. That was what I had, a burning cause. And so here's tip one when you're starting a business. If you get people to work for you, they'll work. You can inspire them with money, you can do what you want, but until it becomes a cause, they won't work 8 till faint, they just won't do it. And so a whole bunch of being brilliant in business is about getting people to understand the intersection of where they are. So free enterprise affected by global impact. Corporations, huge investment, tons of training, hierarchical system, difficult to manage, MLM, facing a lot of legislative challenges right now too. And those of you that are in the room or in MLM, please don't think I'm putting it down. I'm not. I'm just saying it's just a different business than it was when I was in it 10 years ago. And the classic business evolution story, without doubt, is Ray Kroc and McDonald's. He saw the intersection between people that had come home from the Second World War were now affluent and didn't want to spend a whole bunch of time feeding themselves. But the McDonald brothers had already invented a 3-minute hamburger. They already knew how to do all that stuff. What was it that drove that guy beyond everything anybody else was capable of doing? Systems. It was the systems. It was the systems. It was the sort of duplication of the system. But most importantly was Ray Kroc figured out that it was more important to own the address than it was to have the franchise business. They're the biggest real estate company in the world, and where Burger King did $7.8 billion in sales, McDonald's did $78 billion in sales. They are a monolith. They are huge because of that man's efforts. He died a very young man, by the way, in his 60s. But whenever you want to look at an intersection of anything, whatever you're doing, I'm telling you right now, what is on the screen in the United States of America? Same as it is in Canada, same as it is in Colombia, it's jobs and health. The thing that you can say in any community and anywhere, anything that you're doing, you know, when we were reasoning out what we wanted to do was, what's a common denominator? Without doubt, it's health. So you've got to find something with a low investment. One of the reasons that people don't get started today, I don't know what real estate's like here, but where I'm from, a 3-bedroom fixer-upper house in Vancouver, like a run-down, raggedy-andy kind of house, $1.4 million. Yeah, and that's in Canadian pesos. So that's brutal. And you could list at 1.4 and probably sell it about 1.6. So if they're paying $2,700, $3,000, $5,000 a month for their house payment, they haven't got a lot of money to start a business. And the problem is down the road, because we've got to start thinking a little farther out. These things have got to be able to give them a high return on their time. So what people are bringing you when you're going into a lot of these businesses is their time, their blood, their sweat, their tears cashed out. They really don't have a whole bunch, and they need a longer-term parachute. That means that any business that starts, it's going to be brilliant as far as we're concerned, has to be able to be sold at the end of it. The person has to be able to bail at some point, hand it on, do whatever, but get something out of all of that effort that they put in. One of the great problems with individual businesses, by the way, and I had one for years and years and years, I sold my newspapers for millions of dollars. I went on my little trips, and all my staff got up the next morning and went back to work. Can you hear what I'm saying? That's not right. I cut a couple of them in for some of it, but the reality of it was, when I look back on it, I like the way that happened. So it kind of lit a fire in me to try to do something that was a little more all-inclusive, so everybody wins. And there has to be, one of the really interesting things is when you venture out there, you find out that not everybody's interested in money. Have you noticed that? You could drop tons of money in front of some people, and they would just say, could you move that? I want to go to the pool. And then there's other people that think about nothing but money, and then there are some people that just need money, and so this whole notion we have around businesses driving around that buck is really misspent. there's got to be intrinsic value for the individual inside of that business as well. And so when we started shuffling around looking for something, I'm telling you, the internet is a wonderful thing, and it's just full of poop. There are more lies on there per square inch than I've never seen anything like it. Like you could, it will, if you said to somebody, you know, if you wrote doggy do in your hair, it will grow. Some people will try it. I know I did. So, what is credible? Well, when we started looking for credibility, we wanted to get not on the bleeding edge of something. We wanted to get onto the leading edge of something. We wanted to be next, but not too next. If you're the first guy into the market with a product, your chances are slim to none. Bill Gates, Stephen Jobs, and if you see that very excellent last interview with Stephen Jobs on Netflix, the last interview, the one before he got hired back, where all the truth actually comes up, he and Gates stole that technology from Xerox. There's no doubt about it. But Xerox had it, didn't know what to do with it. They were the first guys in the market with it. Couldn't make it go. So sometimes it's good to be second or third in, but if you're going to be first in, at least make sure you get somebody on the web to start hating you, because that's just the best press you can possibly get. So go on there and start rumors about yourself, because then it'll just get that whole social mechanism going. So we found H2 water. This is really a weird thing. I was in Orlando. I was at a convention as a consultant with an MLM company that was trying to get some help. And I mean, we kind of concluded that we weren't there with our hearts in that anymore. Me and this other guy. In fact, William Todd is his name. And so he said to me, I was talking to some guys the other day, and they have found a thing called molecular hydrogen water. Have you ever heard of it? I said, no, of course not. But have you ever heard of a unicorn, William? Because if we could just get some unicorns, I know we could make a hot on them, you know. I just really have had it to here, it does this, and, you know, dices and slices. But then they showed me over 600 scientific studies and papers and plans all around molecular hydrogen. The fact that it has become a multi-billion-dollar industry in Asia because they are on to what this stuff does. Now, one of the things that it does that is really important, a lot of us have, I lost my mother to this, Alzheimer's disease and some of these things. The brain, you know, very important organ, obviously, has a number of barriers for any sort of antioxidant to get into your brain. But most serious is there's a nasty little free radical called an hydroxyl radical. It's an oxygen species. It's a snorting little rip your mitochondria, how your nutrition operates in your body. It rips your brain up. And there's nothing in the world that will neutralize an hydroxyl radical except hydrogen. Molecular hydrogen. And molecular hydrogen, being the smallest of all molecules that there are in the universe, can penetrate all these barriers, go into the mitochondria, go into the brain. And so they're seeing tremendous stuff. I'm saying, don't take my word for it. Don't go on the web and look for it. Go to the Molecular Hydrogen Foundation or someplace where there's science and real paperwork and like that going in. You'll probably be as impressed as I am. So we have one of these here if you want to see it. This is a little hydrogen generator that you can actually take right with you wherever you go. You can actually take that top off, turn up a bottle of water, screw it in there, and it'll hydrogenate any water that you have. And so you can get 1 part or 2 parts per million of molecular hydrogen in that water. It does a lot of other things. That card that you have in front of you has a lot of what it does on there. We also recognize that, you know, right behind that whole thing around water, because there was so many myths around alkaline water and all that stuff, that people were kind of like, I don't believe it anymore. And the machines were like $5 grand or 10 grand. Our top producing molecular hydrogen machine was $2,000. That's the same kind of a markup, by the way, Costco would put in. Everything that we sell through an affiliate network is all in big box pricing. That's what we've tried to do. And it may kill us, but that's what we're trying to do. We also discovered that people, and particularly women, one of the largest buying shares, they find skincare indispensable stuff. Like, it's not a matter of whether they're gonna get the expensive stuff is they're gonna get something. And if they can get the expensive stuff for the price of this, they're gonna do it. So we went on a search, and what we were looking for was something that was vegan, organic, and we found this woman. She is a descendant of a man who was the court physician in Korea 400 years ago. She has a PhD, and she has more degrees than a thermometer, but she's also this ancient family handed down kind of Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe skincare person. And they have a lab in San Diego. And they put out these incredible, we've got some samples here if you want to try, but incredible skincare products. My wife, the princess, got this stuff and said, we're selling this. Like, there's no way, if you don't do this, I'll leave you. That happened before. So I thought maybe we should get some of that stuff. Well, wait a minute, will you take the kid? No. So, 400 years is a long time to be messing around. This guy did all of the herbal remedies for the people that were doing all the martial arts stuff. This is amazing stuff. And we now have got rights to another product they have. It's a roll-on product that actually relieves discomfort. We can't say pain because we're not doctors, but it does relieve discomfort. And all of this, again, the spas and some of the places that sell any of these same identical mixtures, they would sell anywhere from $240 and up. Ours is $80. So again, there's a lot of markup that goes on. And, you know, we're making money, our people make money. You don't have to kill everybody in order to do something. So, I mean, in terms of development, we said when we started this thing we were going to exist for our customers, and that not all affiliates were going to be interested in customers. That's interesting too, you know, like you think everybody would be interested in their customers. Not so much. Like it's sort of like, do you like that? Get up. It's like they don't want to follow it up. They don't want to ever hear somebody say they're unhappy. They don't want to deal with a problem. And yet, how do you endear yourself? Have you had any problems lately with, you know who's just kicking rear end and taking hostages right now with customer service? This will shock you. Microsoft. Unbelievable. They gained humility or what happened, I don't know, but I've had several products now that I've taken back and they have just without any question and just completely exchanged them. No, not just absolute 100% service. So not all affiliates care about money and not affiliates care about customers. So the question becomes in development, what do you do? So we built a system, and our system works around, first of all, we have a training, a 90-day training. William and I wrote a book. It's called The Mentor in Me. How many of you have heard of Bob Proctor? Okay. Well, Bob Proctor is an old friend, and Bob Proctor was mentored by a guy named Van der Waal. So Van der Waal wrote some very basic stuff called the 7 levels of awareness. This, if you're stuck right now, you can't go up, can't go down, you don't believe in motivational stuff anymore, this is a good way to get out of it. This is Van der Waal's work, articulated through William's life. William was an unmentorable disaster, and he reports all of the stuff that happened to him, and then he got it all turned around. Here's the really freaky part of this whole thing, right? So William phones me one day and says, I just got off the radio. I said, what were you doing on the radio, William? He said, they're interviewing me about my book called The Mentor in Me. And I said, wow, what's it about? He said, I don't know. I don't have a book. Proctor told him I had a book. And I've been telling everybody I'm going to do this book, but I don't have a book. I got a box of papers. And so, like, would you help me write this book? So that's what I did. I wrote the book with him. And this has got 55 stars on Amazon so far. So it's a good read. But one of the things we did in the company is we recognize that people it's just really tough when you're out there by yourself to stay up, right? And it's not that the market's tougher, it's more like kind of, another day, same old, and you just kind of get sick of it. And so we offer in every one of our affiliates has a carte blanche. We run a 21-day training called the Mentor and Meet Camp, and it goes every 21 days, the 21st of every month. Each call is 21 minutes, and we do it for 21 days, and we teach them how to use repetition to change the neural path in their brain. And so we built that right into this. There's no, again, no cost. We're not, this is, do you know what I always thought about some of the businesses I was in? It was sort of like, it was like they were milking a cow and cutting hamburgers off the back end of it. They just charging you, not charging you, and overcharging you, and then we'll sell you this, and we'll do it. We're trying not to do that. We're trying to build together some sort of a cohesive system. Product education at the core of everything we do. You can't even become an affiliate with us until you pass the quiz, which is on the truth around hydrogen, what it will do, and don't do all that storytelling and all that fantastical crap. The market doesn't need it. We don't need it. Nobody needs that. It's good enough as it is. So we just get them to tell the truth. We also started, and you IT guys want to appreciate this, we have a live play-by-play tracker. So as our people do business every day, they can go on the web or on their phone, and they will see exactly where their commission is, what their affiliate stores are doing, how much more they have to do to get to the next level of income, how to increase themselves in the profit pool. And all of that is in real time, right in their hands. Simplest metrics you could possibly ever expect. We thought that was important. Also, this is a dream, but this is where we want to go. This is phase 3, where we will get our people to organize our operating system is called 950, because everything works in 5 orbits. So imagine if you had 5 people that you were helping with their health or their wealth or whatever you're doing. And then you guys decided you're going to get together and just do projects. So maybe you would go out and you would clean up a park. Or maybe you would go to a senior citizen's home and read to them. Or just whatever's going on in your community that's not getting done. Or maybe you'd link together like this Million Cups thing. I mean, how awesome. Look at all of you here meeting one another and doing this. Just because somebody took the initiative to do that. So our dream is to interconnect with the business purpose underneath, but to interconnect people for good, to give them a vehicle. Then we start to recognize them and we increase the amount of money that they can actually make in the profit pool, which is contributed by the corporation, not out of anybody's commissions. The profit pool just goes in off of every sale, money goes into the profit pool. You can increase that with more and more social work and other things. So that and the whole idea around trying to get together to do good. So I've had an hour's sleep, so if I was a little scrambled, I'm actually amazed that I didn't fall down and drop my teddy bear or something. So I'm grateful, first of all, for your really kind attention. Thank you so much for letting me tell you about Brilliantz, and I hope you'll watch us. We're Brilliantz.com. We're on the web. If you want to buy anything, go ahead and buy it. You don't have to have a rep. But what we will do, if you ever buy anything from us, is we will let a rep know that you contacted us, and they will offer to service you, take care of any problems you have, and do anything like that, hopefully, to form a relationship with you. Brilliantz.com. Any questions?
All right,